All right, guys. Uh, it's VJ and Luca. We're back here with Trash Trades for you. We're actually recording this the next day. That's how quickly we had some trash available.
Oh yeah.
Pretty phenomenal that we're just such devoted content creators for you guys. And I hope you guys respect that even with a pretty minimal amount of trades, that we could nearly guarantee you some trash daily.
Oh
We
yeah.
probably won't even be doing this daily. I mean, we might. Depends how hot it is. Let us know how hot we are, and we'll do it for you. So, we got some trash here. Um, Luca, I mean, how's your day? How's your day, by the
That's
way?
okay. So my day was okay. I had a great green day. With a bit of a move downwards in this
No,
liquidity.
no,
I
no. Don't even. You don't even have to talk about your play. Tell me how your day was before we get in the play. I'm
buff.
asking, how was your
So
trading day? How was your day? And also, I think you should mention to the audience on like what you trade and how it's different than what I trade.
okay, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a great idea. So I my strategy is a lot based on fibs and liquidity. I don't know why it speaks to me so much, but it whispers in my ear for every trade I enter. So I caught a good trade, fantastic trade on the shorts in the morning. Cause
Real quick though, real
go
quick,
for it.
Luca, before you get in the trade, when I was saying like, how was your day? Like,
Yeah, no, I'm explaining it.
yeah, no, but not even the trade. Like, how, and also when I meant like what instrument you trade, like, explain that you trade options rather than what I
Okay,
trade, which is futures. That's all. Just a little bit of background. We don't have to rush into it.
no
give him
worries at
something.
all. So,
This
um,
is part of the thing, man.
no,
Let
absolutely,
him
absolutely.
have it. Do it up. Do it up. Let him
So
know who
I
you
trade
are.
options. I think we mentioned last episode that I had an absolutely fantastic Weeble loss. So I do trade options on Weeble. I use some ICT concepts, so mostly liquidity and fibs. Um, what else? Yeah, VJ's different. He trades differently than we have different strategies, but VJ trades futures and not options.
Yep.
So he's one up on me with the decay. Um, but yeah, I think that's a good enough background.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. That's yeah. Take it from there, my man.
absolutely.
Let's see your day encapsulated in a trade, if you don't mind.
Order filled.
So just to explain the trading day, I took two trades on this day. The first one was a great green trade. That's why you're not seeing it. And then, of course, I had to eat a lot of my profits on the second trashy ass trade, which is this one right here. So
Mm.
normally with how fibs and liquidity goes, I look for a lot of double bottoms or, um, you know, the highs that are not quite sweeping the previous high. For example, I think this liquidity I marked was a daily slash like 12-hour liquidity level that it kind of opened. So any liquidity that is yet or very close to a high, I marked that out as a liquidity level. So I kind of play a lot of liquidity and I play retracements from that liquidity. So I kind of I try to recognize the areas that are most likely to be swept, and then I use fibs to catch a retracement before they are swept. I think that's the best way to describe my strategy. Um, but again, I play the 0.618. So in this trade, this is a trash ass trade, of course. I entered on the 618, looking for a move down into this liquidity. You can see my price target, my stop loss. Stop loss was the swing high here. So I got entered into this trade. We'll go on the 1 minute, so it's a little bit more detailed. Well, I didn't get it. I think I got entered this candle. Yeah, I did. So this candle I got entered. I was looking for a move down. What happened? It got very close to stopping me out. Kind of went my way. And then, of course,
Mm.
you guessed it, but eventually it stopped me out.
Mm.
And it retraced above. So, what was my mistake on this trade? My mistake was I did not zoom out. So, if I were to zoom out, I would have, of course, I've got this retracement already plotted for the top retracement of this massive move down. So during this massive move down, um, this was the actual retracement. We've got a lot of liquidity under this low that I'm looking to target. And yeah, so we retraced into discount again. Premium in discount, some ICT that I use, of course. And we ended up, I think, yeah, we did. We did end up hitting discount. And this was the trade I was supposed to get. So I made a mistake by looking on the smaller time frames. On the larger time frames of this discount, it went into discount on this massive move from the morning. It kind of stalled around a bit, and then it continued down. And the funny thing is, one of the most frustrating thing is about today and how I traded was every retracement from this discount area was to do with my rules. For example, there is a equal low with this kind of liquidity thing, wick that not quite swept it. So it's evident that there's a lot of liquidity here. All I had to do is map the top and the bottom, see the 0.618 or zero point 0.5. This is really the area of buys, depending on, again, for value gaps and stuff like that I mentioned before, and it would have played out. And this is not the only trade. Of course, it swept those lows, and then we can draw another. I'm gonna take that same fib and just move it from this high to low. And if I would have entered this 618 again, it would have went my way and swept that low. So what I did and how I fucked up royally was I entered on too smaller time frame, and I did not look at the overall picture. I think my bias was right in a way. I was short bias for the day. It's just I have to pay attention to those larger time frames and what has to be discounted before I move down to that liquidity. I did not account for this massive move for this retracement of the trade. I think that was my key mistake. Was I didn't look on larger time frames, and I lost a lot of my profits. A lot. Probably like 80% of my profits for the day I lost just because of this trade. Stupid fucking mistake. But yeah, of course it's here.
Yeah,
Trashy trade for you.
it's not the worst mistake really, but it is sort of a I don't know. It's pretty interesting because if you lost 80, you said you lost 80% of your gains or all of your how much of your
No,
gains?
80%. I was still green for today. I knocked out a good bit of my profits.
So I mean, were you over leveraged or you just didn't stop out of time or?
So yes, that's great that you reminded me. I was over leveraged, so I'm trying to dodge the good faith violations like a ninja on my Weeble. No good faith violations. So I had some settled cash on my account. Of course, I had to use it. So I went particularly heavy in this trade. Um, so that's another thing I fucked up on.
Okay.
What do you think,
All
BG?
right. All right. I mean, it's understandable. I think that the main mistake is the over leveraging because it sounds like you had a nice win and then you gave up 80% of it. So then like was the RR correct? Because if let's say you have a 2-to-1 RR normally, and the first one you took some trims at like 2-to-1, right?
Yeah,
Then like if the next one just hits your one R, your one risk, like you only lose 50%.
yeah.
Or maybe a little bit more because it's all of it, but it's like losing 80% sounds extreme.
It absolutely does. I think that the main part was me over leveraging,
Yeah.
which I'm glad you reminded me. But it's not always the over leveraging. Again, like in the last episode of my fantastic stop loss of my loss in the last episode, I'm glad I kept my loss and I cut when I was supposed to cut. Only problem is I was over leveraged and I was too focused on the 1 minute, and I did not. Again, I should have two charts on my screen. I do not, just for this episode, but I was not looking at the larger time frames, and I was just too I was just too attracted to this liquidity that I had to be taken out now.
Yeah.
That I didn't see the overall picture, and I missed a fantastic trade, and I destroyed my a lot of my profits for that day.
Do you have the ability to do the triple screen?
I can do the double screen. I'm not rich as you are, BJ, with the premium plus on
Oh,
TradingView.
okay. So the double is still nice because then you can watch like the 15 or whatever constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I keep the nice trade bill.
I like it a lot.
Trippy. Yeah, that's why I just watch the 5 and the 15. As you know, that saves me a lot. Saved me on this trade today that I'm going to show you. Which,
Yeah.
are you done, Luca? I can start
No,
whenever
no,
you're going.
absolutely. Go ahead, share your screen,
Okay.
and we'll get into your
All
trade.
right.
Go for it.
Let's see here. All right. Let me share my screen with you. Boom. All right. Okay. As you know, I took this trade on NQ, my little baby. Now, these ugly mustard blocks, they're fair value gaps. Hard to miss them. Easy to see the white and the blue through them. But also, I pick them because, when I put these blue order blocks, you can see where they overlap a lot easier.
Hmm.
Don't get too confused. So that's the main reason for that. A lot of times on higher time frames, by the way, I use these type of things. These are actually gaps. I just want to see all
Oh,
that
I like them.
nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Previous week low, day high, MOP. This is also another reason why I was bullish, anticipating a thing here. So this is similar actually. So you were shorting ES around here. You know what I'm saying? Whee! That was today, right?
It was today.
That's from
Yeah.
today. So Luca was actually with me when I took this trade. Usually we trade by ourselves, and sometimes we'll like join in a VC on like Discord or something in some of the groups that we're in, and we'll like trade together.
Yeah.
And so I've been making a promise to myself to like when my edge shows itself, I must take a trade, right? And my drawn liquidity today is, drawn liquidity is like one of the most powerful tools. It was bearish at first. I had taken shorts at first, as I assume Luca did. This is like 9:30 in the
Yeah.
morning. Yes, that's what Luca's trading here. And what I noticed is after this drop, me and Luca made some decent plays, decent money there. I wasn't sure why NQ was bouncing here. That's what I'm monitoring the most. I do look over here, I see this order block, propulsion order block that's based off this more major order block down here. I'm like, oh, okay, I could see why that could cause a bounce. But then, like, we start breaking structure with fair value gaps on the 5 minute to the upside. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Now, we do have these bearish, like, 15-minute fair value gaps. But, you know, because of the timing and when this came and how we wicked in this fair value gap right here, so you can see the 30-minute, like, yeah, it looks bearish, like on the 5 or the 1 minute, but on the 15 and the 30, which is like my double check, it looks like more like it's bouncing. So already I'm like, huh, no, I wonder why it would be bouncing here, not establishing a new low. Then I see ES, same time frame, bouncing on the previous week low.
Mm.
Uh-oh. It's also previous day low. Oh no, it's previous week low. Friday. This is previous day low. We take both. These are major potential draws. We can often change direction. And here on like shorter time frame, we're breaking these lows where Luca tried to short with fair value gaps. Very bad idea for these lows.
Yeah.
Shorts might be better up here, maybe, but or like in the premium and discount of this range, as they might be here. But here they're too early. And even if you're too early, you have to be dead right that this isn't the lowest it'll go. And that the algo doesn't want to switch its program potentially and chop around or whatever. Well, so because of this, and also because of this, Luca, this is what I hadn't showed you my chart. Because we're an OTE of the range. Remember I told you 618.
Yeah.
I was like, we're actually in a bullish range, sort of. I mean, we've come down, but we've hit major areas, and I'm thinking that we're going to have a bearish week. So I could see us attempt to take these highs and make a new high of the week on Tuesday. For FOMC tomorrow. This is like a whole story I have to myself to make me think we're going to push up and take these Monday highs, Monday, early Tuesday highs, make a new high, be ready to dump. Okay? Probably anticipating too much. But you still want to build a story, and the narrative makes sense, especially with these candles, especially with this right here. Candles refusing to close. It's definitely a pretty strong retrace. That's a fact, right? I just misjudged the value of this fair value gap, and I probably overjudged this fair value gap getting inverted. So I had this drawn here earlier, which was this. And if you notice, we closed through it on the side here. So it sort of becomes inverted and should be bullish. Another reason why when these candles got down here, not tripping. Even when these candles got here, I'm like, should still be bullish. But this reasoning for this being an inverted fair value gap, this is color for it so you can tell the difference. This one being bullish was bearish, inverted, but here it should have been like, oh, it uninverted. And I noticed that. That's why I deleted it. But it's neither here nor there. So we're looking at the 1 minute. There's a reason why I'm like, okay, depending on how much time we have, this time it's like 1:35 New York time, so we have a few hours. I'm like, we could push up to close the gap, regular trading hour gap, or even previous day high, or at least 225. These are my draws. We already hit 8:30, where I got a loss before, I believe. Yeah, got lost real fast because I thought the draw had switched, and so I was like, yeah, if we get back in here, or maybe even here, I'll take longs. I was like, okay, if we get in here, I'll just stop out early.
So you had a bullish bias.
I had a bullish bias. So, and Luca saw me take this play, and it's pretty impressive in some ways, but it's also real trash in some ways. And some of the best traders we know were trading against me, holding positions against me. But you have to follow your edge, and you have to be relentless. I was like, all right. I went to essentially my most precious account right now, and I was like, all right, I'll go a little light. Let's do it. And boy, I think I went a little light and just had an amazing entry. So if I remember correctly, I'm looking at 5 minute. I'm seeing this swing high. See it? And it gets broken with a fair value gap. It's a signal to me. We might be okay, right? And then let's see, I forget exactly when I entered.
I think it was here.
Yeah, it was right here. Yeah. So I wanted us to come down here, and then we start breaking structure again. So it's actually here's a fair value gap right here. So I'm looking at the 5 until we get here, and then I zoomed into the 1. Because of this fair value gap and this, I'm like, okay, this is when we hit our objective. This was my thoughts. And then we chopped up for and then we headed towards the new objective. Then starting around noon, we hit a different program where we chop down,
Yeah.
right? Just making a pattern so that we could break up and just take this pattern out and then head up. Okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
So once I see this, I'm like, oh, okay. And I take an entry on this guy. Like pretty much this candle right here, stop below here, and we're just gonna run this fucker out. Now, pretty wild. I'll put it right here so we can see this. And even though I'm not profitable yet, I am somehow an analyst. You know what I'm saying? So like, I alerted this too. And actually, based on my entry, it was like a little bit lower because my stop loss was like 10 points. Oh no, that's correct. There it is. It's like right there. Okay, and then I was like, I'm gonna trim it like 20-ish points right around here, around these things, and then we'll let this shit go. Yeah, that's almost exactly what it was. And I was
It was
like,
a pretty short.
about to.
It was a pretty short scalp, BJ.
No, I'm expecting. Boom, boom, boom.
So you're expecting like a massive run up.
This is just my first safety trim. Everything else is on the house. Stops go to BE
Gotcha.
once you break up. Yeah. This is just a lunchtime shot, baby. They're just building a pattern. Don't you see it? We're about to bust that shit. Grab all that liquidity. Look, we already did the double fake out. Thought it was gonna go up. Oh, didn't get there. Oh, didn't really do it. Oh, the retest failed. Boom. It's like a lot of trickery here. Like this is 1 minute trickery.
Yeah.
This is 5 minute fantasticness for me. Okay, look at this. Luca, you were there.
Yeah, no, I remember this.
You know how much you saw what happened. You became biased with me. No one believed in longs here. But I had to enter on my bias. Honestly, I'm happy I did. So it was a good lesson, but boy, this is a trashy trade to fucking handle it on. Listen, this is a rule I've learned about holding. If, by the way, fair value gaps are being built up in here. There's a tiny one there. There's another one there. There's a BPR there. This is all good. Tap for the BPR. We're still going, baby. Everything is Gucci. Yeah, it's a little choppy, but I'm fine. I'm fine till my draw. I don't give a fuck. I'm not trimming till I hit my PT or till the stop is there, especially since I alerted it. I told people at first, like, they could trim as they get there. But, like, I'm just holding for there. I have to stand with my business model and trading. And, Luca, what'd you say that I had because of this? Exactly. Balls of steel. Here
Balls
we go.
of steel, you're right.
That's what I also tell myself at the blackjack table.
So he did not move his stop loss up at all. He was green at this point. He did not move it. Kept that shit there. Let's see what happens.
Just chilled. Oof. Very close.
Yeah.
Even said, hey, if you need the money, trim it for safety because it was already like people don't hold as long as me. It's like we got 15 points. For some of them, like that's the biggest move they've ever seen. Yeah. Oh, look at how close we get to the first trim.
So no trim so far.
I did not trim there. No, it missed me by 0.75, and I should have. I remember thinking I should have trimmed, but it happened really fast, and I was like, it's gonna blow through if I'm correct anyway. It's gonna blow through if I'm correct anyway. It's no problem. But that was a little bit of an issue. There's no reason to be that greedy on the first trim, but it's okay. I'm sticking with the rules. It's fine. We get back there. Don't even stress it. Don't.
Oh.
What's going on here? Now, I told people they could put their stops in profit here if they wanted. I hope some people did in case they couldn't handle this. But Luca saw me, and I was like, nah, I'm just going to leave it there. My stop's there. If it happens, it happens. Who cares? I was like, I ain't living. I was like, this is a good thing in practice, too. And I'm expecting resistance as we get up here, but I'm anticipating to take these relatively equal highs. This, all this. Goodbye, fair value. Yeah, we already traded through you once. I don't think you're going to survive. I'm way too cocky about this shit. Should have paid attention to that. Really. Ugh.
Yeah, but in this situation, VJ alert. So people are watching VJ in this trade, so it's public that he's trading. And this was one of the rare times that me and VJ are together when we're trading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I didn't trade, I was just looking at VJ's trade. I was literally telling him right at this stage when it's so close to stopping him out. I said, "Take it,
You should just get out.
get out."
Reduce your risk.
Exactly. Reduce your risk and take some of that stop loss. And VJ says no. He goes fuck no, and he kept that position.
I didn't say fuck no to be disrespectful. I said I can understand what you're saying, but I'm like, this is how
He was
I racked
mechanical.
up red on. Well, it's being mechanical, but also respecting like
Yeah,
my trade idea and allow it to play out because
absolutely.
I'm bringing back some accounts, including this one that's my most precious one because it's the one that's most back green. And they came back from pretty deep drawdown. And it was because like I bought these accounts. I only had to pay one fee, so essentially they're like permanent accounts if I keep care of them. And I started like exiting trades before my stop loss, exiting trades before my TPs. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like taking losses and I'm way down in drawdown. I'm like, how have I even gotten this deep? I haven't even gotten this deep on any other account in a long time. What? I just did this in 2 days. And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, you're not doing any of this. The only time I should be going against this, like getting out of this, is when I'm obviously wrong. And I told him, if we break this low that's right here, and hold, I will debate getting out. But if you look at it like on the 5, like it's not that strong of a gap. It is above it. It's not under it. And these lows, which are more major, have not been broken. To me, this is like almost a retest of a fair value gap to go up, which I've seen plenty of times. I'm not tripping. Stop hasn't been hit. I'm chilling. I even told Luca, expect another candle the opposite size to come up this way.
Yeah.
The fucking cockiness of this fucking
After I told
asshole.
him to trim or cut his position, um, and he had some balls and he kept his position.
And Luca said he couldn't believe
I
any of
couldn't
this.
believe it. I was so
And I'm just
convinced.
chilling.
And there you go.
There's that equal
Hit that high.
size
You
candle.
trimmed right at that candle.
Uh, yes.
Okay.
That candle I trimmed. Okay? So I took one out and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move my stop to a little bit green right here because I'm just done with this.
Moving a stop.
Because I'm like, but if it's going to take it, it should run. Okay? Looking good. That's fine. Testing the gap. That's a good wick. This is a good reaction. Just looking Gucci. We fucking out of here. Fuck you and your family. All right. We mobbing,
So
baby.
still in. So he trimmed one, but he's still in, and
I'm
he moved
still
up his
in.
stop.
I moved up my stop probably to like about right here, and I know I'm going to get stopped out. I wanted to move it here, but I felt like that was too close. Oh, no, I did move it right here. That's where I moved it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I knew it was too close, though. And it just proceeds to just fuck around, look like it's almost about to get my back, and then just dumps.
So I stopped you
Takes
out
me
there.
out, stop me out there. I'm done with this trade. So why is this trade trash? You say,
Yeah,
right?
it's a good
We
question.
alerted 26 points. Actually got to 29 points. I didn't even take advantage of that. 29 points, beautiful. And we kept that cracking. Well, the reason why it's trashy, guys, is because let's take a look at this price action again. I'm anticipating high of the week on Tuesday. What is this? Monday night, Tuesday morning.
So that was your draw.
Tuesday. No. Before everything, I'm anticipating on a bearish week, especially before FOMC,
Yeah.
a bearish week, which would mean the high of the week is usually on like Tuesday or Wednesday. It occurred here with a deep dump. Then the New York Judas swing, which you fell for on the second episode, I fell for on the first episode, occurs here. A fake move up to continue the bearish action from London. And another just retracement into OTE of this move. And this fair value gap on the 15 minute, remember I said this one never got closed through? Yeah, well, neither did this. And it didn't get tested again. And when it touched on the 5 minute, all it did was make bearish fair value gaps and hold. And hold. One attempt, retest here. Right after lunch, BPR here. In the longs I was in, should have hit the reverse button. Last chance for fucking this. Whee! So if you want to play real moves, and I tell Luca this all the time, it's sort of shown by the speed. Like, until this hit a real draw, and ES did throw me off by this. This is sort of what fucked me up. I know some other good traders that got fucked up by this, and sometimes you're just wrong on the draw. That's what made this difficult for me. But look at how quickly it delivered. Literally right at like fucking 3 o'clock, it just takes off and it delivers like 100 points in no time. 171 to 74. Right into an order block that I had before. Creams this thing. Proves out the bearish bias that has been going on for fucking like a week now.
So BJ, how was this a trashy trade? I mean, you closed it green, so explain how was it was a
trashy
trade.
bro, because I sort of wasn't looking at the signs. I made a bias and I thought I was looking at the real signs because of things like this. But I refused to look at the other signs going against me. And I didn't value them highly enough. And even though I traded from here to here, okay, what is that? Like, yeah, 33-point move. Cute. I could have got here to here in less time. Way less time.
Yeah.
102-point move. By just really looking at this and understanding this. But remember, I wasn't gone. I was gone for a little bit. And, you know, I was looking at the 15 and the 5. They're here in my split screen. Okay? But what I was fucking up is that I was looking specifically at, like, each individual candle during that move. You know what I'm saying? Rather than, like, oh, this is ES. Whatever. The drawings would be there. This is absolutely terrible. The most brilliant fucking TV of all time. See, I could have just really more looked at this. And I had this up, but instead I was looking at these micro moves of these candles versus each other. Oh, wick the candle. Oh, okay, shit, move up. Oh, look, we're pressing here. All right, small move down. Oh, dude, like you're getting fair value gap is holding. Retap is holding. None of these potential tabs are blasting through. This is too long down here. This is actually a break of structure. Fair value gap, and they held under these lows. That's easy short. Right there, 100 points. Instead, I held like a valiant bastard, even under near death, for another press up. And that honestly is probably sort of lucky. It just needed to take this out to dump. And it's what I always tell you to not play in the liquidity sweep and get to the real fucking thing. And it's just very easy to get lost.
So if you would have looked at a long, like a wider time frame, you would have seen the short opportunity.
I was watching this wide. This is how my screen is most of the time right here. I'm watching the whole thing. What happened is because I was so biased, I didn't look for ways that I'm wrong,
Yeah.
which this would indicate. But remember also, I did notice this, and I kept saying I could see both sides. I still played it. Another reason I played this was like this broadening formation down here. I should have remembered it was a scalp, that it was likely a scalp because I couldn't see both ways. But instead, I'm coming up with these grandiose price targets as if that's going to happen today, rather than thinking maybe the real grandiose price target, if I just look at this whole thing, is just down. And this was a retrace into this. We go further down. Just like we've been going down for a while. Why would we just go down more? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just the current trend. So it was just getting a little bit too lost in my own sauce and believing my TA, and it paid out well. And remember what I told you: you could be on the wrong side and bag good amounts of points. But do you like look at this? What I'm telling you, like when you play the liquidity sweeps, this is like a great play for you.
Yeah, no,
This
it
is what we want to
absolutely
be in.
was. That was the
This
trade
is
I
what we
missed
want to
out
be.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We both missed out on this. And it's like sort of obvious. These wicks are what started me coming up with this thing. But
Yeah.
wicks generally are a good indication if I'm wrong. And yeah, this is good for a pump. Like if you took longs from like around here to test the here, yeah, you want to see. Once these hold, okay, now we got to see if this holds. It looks like it's holding, but this is also holding. You're better off with a short with a tight stop here
Yeah, exactly.
or here and aim for these.
Yeah,
Then a
I agree.
long to aim for like this and to stop here. And that's where it's like flip flopped. It's trash because
Yeah.
I mean I got confused. I guess it's not the worst fucking trade, but
I mean,
you know I didn't have a
although
loss
you
today.
finished or
And
you closed your trade green, it was a green trade, you still missed out on a better, potentially more profitable
easier
trade.
play.
Exactly.
Look at this. Look at this.
A
Yeah,
lot
it's
easier.
like oh yeah, I was literally shitting bricks for fucking 30 fucking minutes, or for literally
Yeah.
like 15 minutes, just get 3 times as many points
Yeah,
as I fought
exactly.
for. Just with and you were like, that is like one of the best holds I've seen. And I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. And then 15 minutes later I'm like, I've made a major mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Because look where it goes. Like, I don't think it's done there. Okay, yeah, see, that's the draw. But like it delivers it like in 15 fucking minutes. Like it's
Ah,
just an obvious
yeah.
like misstep. It's okay. I'm very happy to be green. Accounts are green. It's cool. This would have been nice and greener. It's a very valuable lesson. Like, hey, sometimes this isn't a reversal. This is not a reversal mode. This is a strong retracement into the 618.
Yeah.
And I should be understanding that, especially at 618, whatever. It gives me another opportunity with closer stops to get in. Another opportunity with closer stops to get in. Like it tried to give it to us, Luca. These are some of the easiest short entries.
Gotcha.
And guess what? I was short from like here.
Yeah,
I
I
got it a
was
little
with
bit
you.
late. So I never had to get out. Remember how I told you how you saw me hold these? Why, if I bought here, would I have to fucking get out?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Managed. I mean, it took profits. You know, you got to take that like 80, 70, 80 points, but it's just like, it's all good, baby.
Yeah, we're improving. I think there's a
Absolutely.
good display of our shittiness when we
A
trade.
proud display of our different ways of putting up trash, you know?
Yeah,
Of some reverse, you know?
exactly.
God, wait till we get merch. We might literally make merch out of trash. So to all the fucking guys, all the homies. Like, yeah, here's a Dorito bag. Put that over your face, you ugly son of a bitch. All right, we're getting off the rails.
Yeah, no,
You want to
we
just call
gotta
it?
wrap this shit up.
All right, we're done.
But
All
yeah,
right, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. We'll be back with more. We gotta cut this shit up, and we haven't quite launched yet, but we're like halfway through our test episode, so I feel like we're
absolutely.
hitting
We're
the
working
bang,
hard.
guys.
We're working hard to
Yeah,
deliver a good product Hopefully you guys enjoy it and you fuck with it, so we can keep
Yeah,
these
and
consistent.
if you don't, fuck you. You know what
Fuck
I'm
you.
saying?
Okay.
I mean, we appreciate you. Like maybe we can, make it better. But like if you already ate us,
Yeah.
suck a
And we
dick.
already got some great ideas for the future, so I think it's gonna
All right,
be,
easy.
yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyway, thank you
All
guys
right,
very much for
love
watching.
you so much.
I'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys in the next episode. All right, bye
All
bye.
right, let's get this. Bye.